Okay, and guess what? It is time to activate our 5 minions within the dungeon. But I hope you like going over that. And as you can see, it's not very complex at all. But the patrol route system really adds like that living dungeon experience to the game. Okay, so first up, let's go over to our Wraith over there in the Chapel of Light, and let's see where it is going to move. Okay, and we're here. There's our Wraith. Let's take a look at its monster card. And so we're just going to roll with whatever is on the card, for the first turn here. So we can see, of course, it's going to roll a d6 plus 3 for base movement. Now, the elites have some special abilities. So this one in particular is Shadow Step. At the end of the Wraith's turn, it rolls 1d20. On a result of 16 to 20, it takes an additional turn. This ability can only activate once per turn. Okay, so let's first of all gather the d6 and the patrol route die, and let's see what patrol route this Wraith is going to go on and the kind of movement it's going to generate. Okay, that's going to be the blue patrol route, and 2 and 3 is 5, and the blue patrol route is right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I had to move this way because we had the bookcase here. But remember, and they only get that one activation, for their movement. They don't get 2 actions. But remember, it has that special ability, Shadow Step. Let's clear this, and got the d20. So on a 16 to 20, it's going to move again. And no, close. It's a 19. Okay, the Wraith is done, and that's simply how the minions move. Besides the hit and run tactics, if it sees a hero and, it's going to attack. Let's move on to our next minion. Okay, next up is our friendly Skeletal grunt in the Well of Eternity. Let's take a look at its monster card. So we can see for movement, it's going to roll a d6, of course, plus 2 for base movement. And this is an elite shadow or shield deflect. For each successful warfare roll a hero makes where the Skeletal grunt would take damage, it rolls 1d20. On a result of 16 to 20, no damage is dealt to the Skeletal grunt. Okay, so that's a combat special ability. So this is just a straight roll. And I'll try to roll right here for you. Okay, so the Skeletal grunt is telling us it wants to go on the orange patrol route. 5 and 2, of course, is 7. And the orange is right here. So it's going to move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and I'm going to remember, point it in that direction as a reminder. And that's done. Let's go on to our next minion. And next up is our Orc Archer here in the Tomb of St. Viticus North. So let's take a look at its monster card. And so roll of a d6 plus 3. And remember, see the silver star and the blue crystal. That tells us it's a normal version here. And I just wrote origin story. So if you like, let's go over this. And of course, all these places are in Avalon. So origins, the crags. The orcs are the oldest race in all of Avalon. Orc archers, however, are incredibly skilled archers known for making jagged arrowheads from shards of animal bones and metal fragments. And let me tell you something when I wrote these. This kind of gives you an indication from what I just read of what to expect for the elite, because they have a special ability where, we'll keep it a surprise, but keep that little story in mind for when you see the elite version, if we see one spawn. But let's move our Orc Archer and see where it is thinking to go on its turn. We'll roll. I'm going to try to roll up here in the cesspool area so I don't knock all this stuff over. Okay, it's 5 and blue, so it's telling us it wants to go on the blue patrol route. So let's move this actually down a little bit. And the blue patrol route is right here. So 5 and a base movement of 3. So that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's right by a spawn point. So it's going to pick up a new patrol route next turn. Okay, on to our next minion. And next up is our Blackwood prowler, and it is within the Chamber of Kings South. Let's take a look at its monster card. And we can see for movement, of course, a d6 plus 5 to base movement. So these things can go pretty fast. This is a combat ability, but we'll go over it. Blood Moon Amulet. Before any warfare roll is made, the Blackwood Prowler rolls 1d20. On a result of 16 to 20, the amulet activates. All warfare values gain +3 for this combat round. So now you remember the battles before, so you can see this thing can become quite fierce if that Black Moon or the Blood Moon Amulet activates. So let's see where it is going to go for its turn. Try to roll right here. And not much. Okay, so it's telling us it wants to go on the purple patrol route, 1 and 5, that's 6. And the purple patrol route is right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually glad this came up. So it went on there, it moved there with 5, but it hit a patrol route. So what we're going to do, I'm actually very happy this came up. It's just going to, it's kind of thinking now, where am I going to move now? It has 1 movement remaining. So again, it's like spinning around in its head. Purple, okay, so this wants to shuffle back this way, so we'll point it that way and move it right there. And our Blackwood Prowler has moved. Okay, so on to our last minion. And last is our Shadow Dweller. And these are nasty little things, and you're gonna hear why when we read its special ability. So let's get its monster card, take a look at its movement. So these things can make some pretty good way in the dungeon too. If we look at the movement, it's a d6 plus base movement of 4. And the special ability, Webbed. Before any warfare roll is made, a hero must test Evade 11 to dodge the web attack. On a fail, place a web token on that hero's card. A hero must spend 1 action to test Strength 12 to break free. While webbed, a hero may only defend and cannot use special abilities. I told you they're nasty little things. Okay, so let's generate its movement, see where it wants to move. Let's try to roll right here. Okay, that's good. And so, base movement of 4 plus a 2, that's 6, and it's telling us it wants to go on the green patrol route. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oops, let me point you there. So it's right next to this skull pile node in the Halls of the Dead West. And guys, our minions have activated. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's pull the camera back and wrap this up. And guys, that concludes turn 1. I hope you enjoyed this. And of course, I hope you learned a lot in this and how minions spawn and the raid die. That was a lot of fun, and I hope you liked it. And you can see what the patrol route system has to offer. You know, it's really like a living dungeon experience. Also, I want to point out the Guardians. We haven't even seen a Guardian spawn yet, so still there's more and more and more to see in Dungeon Crusade. That's one of our 8 Guardians, Bane, Vic. And what I was going to say is, we're not going to get into this now, but when one of these guys spawns, they use the patrol route also. They use the die. But they don't move by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They move quadrant to quadrant. So they can make a lot of movement very quickly because they can move very fast. So we'll get to that. And as we move into turn 2, it's going to go much more briskly, because we took turn 1 to explain all of this. So you've learned a good portion of the game if you watched, turn 1. And things are really going to start popping. There's just so much still to this game you haven't seen yet. I don't think we've even scratched the surface. Like I said, we have that, of course, a Guardian will be spawning. The encounter deck, that's gonna start kicking in. The traps are gonna get, enabled at the start of turn 2. We're gonna be introducing the expert and heroic monsters. And maybe, I don't know if I'm crazy enough, but I want to take you over here. During the seeding process, a mystery chamber spawned. There's another one somewhere in the dungeon. I think there's 2 of them. Crazy things happen in the mystery chambers. I don't know if I'm bold enough. Maybe we will try that. So, but my point is, there's a lot more to come for you. And lastly, I'm putting together the Christmas edition mega-sized Dungeon Crusade Kickstarter update. So That'll take me about, as I said, about 4 or 5 hours to put together. Once that is dispatched, we want to get everyone on the same page, who's on Kickstarter, and then we will proceed with turn 2. Guys, I hope you have a great weekend in an upcoming week leading up to Christmas. I love hanging out with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I'll be talking to you very soon. Bye-bye.